didn't come this year I don't think we're going to have one next year. It might be the following year. But I encourage you to start saving your money, because fundraising isn't easy, as we know, right? Nobody wants to fundraise, nobody wants to sell tickets, but thank God that we did it, and thank God for such a wonderful congregation that we were able to get over $200 for each lady to go. That went towards our room and board, and it was just awesome. So what we wanted to do, Christian was really nice, and he put this slide together for us. So isn't it beautiful? He did it so nicely. Thank you, Christian. So in our women's retreat, it was on, let me get my notes. We were there from October 14th to October 16th, and our speaker was Linda Pennick. She was an awesome speaker. She's from California, and she has her own, it's called Living Divine Purpose. And she likes to give women's sermons. She speaks to women. She ministers to all women and young girls. So I thought, wow, that's awesome, because we wanted to bring Lorena with us. So she's a young girl, and I'm glad that she came. It was a blessing to all of us. And when we got there, I was a little bit nervous because Lorena was the only young girl there. And when I read this, I was encouraged that she ministers to young girls. So hopefully I won't get in trouble for bringing a child. So that was my main concern. But God is so awesome, because He put me at ease. He put Michelle at ease and Lorena at ease. We were all at ease. As soon as we got there, we saw Norma. We saw her grandson there. So I said, okay, she brought her grandson. I'm okay bringing my granddaughter. But then when we spoke, we had our first meeting on Friday evening. The lady, our main speaker, she said, women, we need to encourage one another. We need to mentor our young girls. And she turned around and she saw Lorena there, and she's like, look, we have a little bud here, And it just made us feel so at ease. And I said, thank you, Lord, for taking that burden off of me to just be worried about the whole weekend if we were going to get in trouble for bringing Lorena. So God was so awesome that He answered our prayers right as soon as we got there. So Lord, I thank You for that, and I thank You for all the women there, for the opportunity. Even though we know we visit other churches, we know all our sisters in other churches, we got to meet new sisters, we got to know more about the ones that we did know. We had an opportunity to break into groups and speak to one another, and just like a little testimony, share with each other. And we broke up into groups with people that we don't really know, which was good, because she gave us numbers, and then we all broke up. And then everybody got to speak. Why were you here? What did you want to share? What were you expecting to gain? And it was so awesome, because one lady spoke, and she's a caregiver, and she said she's taking care of her husband for over 4 or 5 years. I forget what it was. But she needed a break. And this was her chance to get away. Her daughter insisted, Ma, you need to come. And she said, I'm so glad I came. I really needed this. The ocean is, I guess, let me click it. How do I? Just, what did I do? Oh. Okay. Thank you. Okay, maybe I'm still doing it. Oh, I gotta point it out. Ah, there it is. Oh, don't forget that picture. Okay, anyway, this is our view as you go out on the Lanai side. You can see and walk around. I'm sorry, Turtle Bay Resort. I'm sorry, I don't know if I said that. But anyway, the lady was talking, and she was explaining why she was there, what she had been going through, and without knowing, our next sister, the one who would speak next, was also a caregiver. And as she's speaking, the next lady is just in tears, just crying and shaking her head and saying, I understand, I know exactly what you're going through. And this is just our Waipahu group. You know everybody there. DC's not here today, but she should be coming later. There's DC. So yeah, we had an awesome time. It was good to share, and not even knowing that your testimony is blessing your sister. That she didn't even know, you didn't know she had that problem or concern, and by sharing your testimony, you helped your sister. So it was really awesome just to get together. The food was wonderful. It was all vegetarian. It was awesome. We had breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then Saturday night we had, and that's just our break up, how we did it. And this Lorena with the little girl, we were playing this, what do you call that? scavenger hunt game. And so we had to find children. So we saw this little girl, and Michelle took a picture of her, and then and our Joe was singing. So she got up and she sang. They asked for people, and it was so awesome because out that window you could see the ocean, and it was just so peaceful. You're listening to the speaker, you're watching the ocean in the background. Sometimes you don't want to drift off and just stare into space, but you had to make sure you paid attention to the speaker as well. But yeah, so these people are from different churches. Mary, and I don't remember this lady's name, but she had an awesome testimony. She was 1 year drug-free that day, and she was just, it was an awesome testimony for her. And I believe that lady's from Central Church. I forget their names. And this is the one where they acknowledged Lorena because they acknowledged the lady because she was 1 year drug-free, and Lorena being the youngest person there. And so she got to go up, and I forget, because maybe they know me, the other lady that's right there, she's Dorothy Mean. She's from the conference as well as in the mainland in California. She's the head leader there. And she remembers me from the other meeting we had, and she said, okay, thank you, Grandma, for bringing your granddaughter. It's awesome that you're teaching her. And Michelle's sitting there. They don't know Michelle. I said, oh, no, you got to thank Mom. Mom is the one who brought her. So they said, well, you come up. We're going to give her a pin. And Michelle pinned her. So that was an awesome thing. And this is our speaker, Linda Pennick. She was an awesome speaker. Very, very easy to listen to. You don't want her to stop, but she was just awesome. So those are some of the pictures, but right now I just want to ask the ladies if anybody has something to share, something that was meaningful to them, or a highlight of their weekend there. So let's have Joe come up.
Sorry, I'm a little taller.
Oh, sorry.
One of the things that was a blessing for me was just getting to be there with the women and getting to know them and their hearts, and really experiencing that getaway, that time away just to be with God. And it took so much to break down some of the things that were in my heart. I just had been so heavy weighted with things of the world, with things that were at home, and I just wanted to be there and be present, and God helped me to break so that I could do that. And He did that through the work of some of the ladies here in this church, and that was such a blessing to me. And then one of the things that happened, God must have spoken a word to this woman because she had no idea who I was. But Miss Dorothy, who was on one of the pictures, she looked over at me, and she just came over and said, you know, I'd really like to talk with you. And I was kind of shocked. I looked at her like, okay. And so she just began to share what she wanted to know about me. And I just opened up and totally broke down with her right there. And God just opened that door so that she could minister to my heart. And she was able to do that. And so I went away from that moment refreshed. I went away from that moment feeling like God had touched me through someone else. And I will never forget that, because it was something that I desperately needed. It was the beginning of a time of healing that is still continuing, but that was the biggest part. So I'm so grateful for that. And each of the pictures, I mean, we had so many that we took. I wish that there were more that I could share with you guys right now, but those moments were precious. They weren't fake. They weren't dolled up. They were perfectly as they were. And each one of these women that went on this retreat, Colleen, DC, Miss Dolores and Michelle, each one of them was a blessing. And then getting to spend time with the girls actually really helped me too, because I really felt like a child inside. So the last day we actually decided, because I really wanted to go to the pool, and the girls desperately wanted to go swimming too. So we all went to the pool, and I got to play with the girls, and I got to swim with them, and really get to see them be in their own atmosphere. So that was really, really nice, and created a lighthearted atmosphere. So I just want to say that we were blessed by what you guys were able to do in helping us with our fundraisers for the women's ministry, because I know that I did not go away the same person that I went there. So thank you so much, and God bless each one of you.
Amen.
That was awesome. And of course, I'm shorter than her, so. Okay, so yeah, so thank you so much again. We had a wonderful weekend at that retreat, and nobody really wanted to leave. We just didn't want to say goodbye to our speaker, to one another. And like she said, well, I didn't go in the pool, but I'm not a pool person, water person. So I just sat there in the sun with my hat and watched everybody have fun. But it was very relaxing. I had a great sleep. We had food every day. We didn't have to cook. And we celebrated Colleen's birthday. Her birthday was the last day, Sunday. On the way home, we went to Haleiwa, and her birthday was going to be on Monday, so we celebrated with her. We went to Teddy's Burger House, and we had our veggie burgers, and we had a great time. We had an awesome time. We enjoyed it, and I look forward to the next women's retreat, and hopefully you folks can join the other ladies that didn't come. You can plan on visiting us, coming with us, and enjoying a fellowship with your fellow sisters. And you're just going to have a wonderful evening and have a blessing, because the speakers are so awesome. And so anyway, that's all I wanted to share with you this afternoon, this morning. And also just to remind you that we will have a women's ministry meeting. We're going to kind of go over more of the stuff that we, in depth, if you have any questions, ladies, and talk about it some more in detail, and do some planning for next events. So thank you again. Thank you for the opportunity to go there and helping us go there. And we ask a special blessing on every one of you and all the women that were there, that they got a special blessing. And continue to be with them, because it's a step, it's a start right there for some of them. And then, like she said, it's ongoing, and we just need to draw closer to the Lord and encourage and uplift one another. So thank you again for this opportunity.
Amen. Amen.